Today on CityCast Pittsburgh. It's colder, it's darker, but I vote you bundle up and get out of the house anyway. The team and I are here to encourage you to get an early jump on your holiday gifts. See Frank Lloyd Wright's unfulfilled vision for Pittsburgh. Y'all, he wanted a downtown aquarium. Or maybe see an interactive octopus over at Phipps. This is our guide to Pittsburgh in November. It's Monday, November 3rd. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I'm with CityCast's Mallory Falk and Sophia Lowe talking about all the cool things we are excited to check out here in Pittsburgh this month.
Yes, there is so much to do. If you're new here, CityCast Pittsburgh is a daily podcast, so we talk a lot of news and culture, great restaurants, things to do, history. We also do a lot of explaining for why a thing is the way it is. But our guide episodes like this one is all about the experiences, food and drink, and super fun one-off events that we're really excited for this month, this November.
Yes, and if you want even more recommendations about how to spend your month, we've got a bunch more in our newsletter, so you can sign up and read more at pittsburgh.citycast.fm. Our newsletter writer, Francesca DeBecco, is super tapped into all the great stuff happening around the city.
Definitely. So we will kick it off with experiences, things to go do. What are y'all most excited to do this month, other than vote? Because we're all going to go vote. Everyone listening is going to go vote.
And get their sticker.
Yes, Tuesday, November 4th. Go vote.
Definitely. Well, after I vote, as we get further into this month, I am really hoping to book myself some spa treatment. I haven't decided what yet. I've done a massage in the past here. I really loved my experience with Interwoven Wellness and Massage. They're in Shady Side, sort of right by Lorelei, across from the church, that area. There's just one massage therapist there, Charlotte, but they are great. It's $100 for 60 minutes, and they also have the sliding scale option too. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's really nice if you think you've been priced out of massage. Maybe not actually the case here in Pittsburgh.
This sounds so great. By November, I've got a year's worth of knots built up in my back. So
Mallory.
I might take your advice, Sophia, and go check this out.
That is exactly what I'm thinking, because the end of the year can be kind of stressful, especially if you're traveling a lot, hosting a holiday, that kind of thing. I might also explore something new, though. I know there is this new place called Aura. It's a Japanese head spa. This is actually in Ross Park Mall, so driving McKnight might be the stressful part.
Sophia, I have gotten so many Instagram ads for this, and it's just about got me sold. I think I want to do it.
I'm curious to see the actual space because I don't associate stepping into a mall with rest and relaxation.
Okay, that's true. But if I'm looking away from, the mall, I think I'll be pretty easily tricked. So if you haven't gotten the Instagram ads, this is scalp massages. My favorite part of getting my hair cut is the deep wash I get before. So I think this is really for me. They also have this thing called facial massage that you can add on. Not sure what that is or if it's different from a facial. I've never gotten a facial and I'm sort of skeptical on them. But when I was poking around, I saw Clean Your Dirty Face. They have spots in the Strip and Bakery Square. Does a $35 facial for your first time, and that feels very cheap.
Sophia, your sweet, sweet baby skin has never had a facial because you probably naturally exfoliate correctly still. Mallory and I are over here giggling about never having had a facial.
I mean, I've never had one either, but
Wait,
not
what?
for lack of need. I suck.
Okay, I've gotten many a facial. I've played with chemical peels, dermaplaning, the microdermabrasion stuff. I have a lot of thoughts if y'all ever get on this train.
I just have extremely sensitive skin, so I'm always a little nervous to do anything to it. But as I get closer and closer to the brink of 40, I'm realizing I might need to push past that fear.
And I'm in the financial state where I can pay for more than a $1 face mask from H Mart.
Well, I'm proud of both of you. I feel like this is some growth. It's important. I like this idea, though, Sophia. There's a couple spa type treatments that I've had on my long list for a while. There's places now where you can go sit. I feel like this is sitting in the sun, so maybe this is a nice winter activity. But you can go sit in a rock salt garden where it glows orange at you, and you can just
lizard mode.
Yes, a lot like lizard mode. There's like also the soak ones where you can like, it's basically like getting in like a salt pool where you just float, And then
I want to do that too. I imagine it's like being in the womb, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I like that reframe because I did a floating tank once and felt too much like I was in a wet coffin and I did not like it.
Well, I've seen different kinds and I found one. They have spots in Lawrenceville and Sewickley. It's called Victory Float and you can do it a bunch of different ways. They actually have that thing with the rock salt garden I was talking about, though. They call it halo therapy. I had to look it up. But yeah, it's just like, it looks like a wall of orange, which I feel like in Pittsburgh gray winter, like that might be a nice thing to go just like set up shop like your dad in the lawn chair,
Bring your dad too. I bet this is his first time doing lizard time, like in a spa.
Well, in a spa is the essential caveat to that. Yes.
At the next level.
Megan, what are you going to do this month besides lizard time?
Yes, I want to check out the new Frank Lloyd Wright exhibit. I don't know if y'all have heard about this yet. It's at 820 Gallery downtown or 820 Gallery. It is free and it is all about Frank Lloyd Wright's vision for Pittsburgh and downtown. So essentially a look at a bunch of municipal master plans that never actually got built here.
Oh, interesting.
I knew he had some kind of master plan for Pittsburgh, but I actually don't know any of the details. So I would be really curious to learn.
I love like Pittsburgh's history just because like we've been a big enough city for a long time that like all kinds of like true masters of their craft in terms of architecture and things like that. Like a lot of these folks have created like plans for Pittsburgh, especially like our Golden Triangle area so many times. And we like maybe opted into like one tiny piece of it. But by and large, a lot of these plans like never came to fruition. So in the case of Frank Lloyd Wright, of course, the famous architect known for mid-century modernism, he had plans for like residential area, commercial area, and these civic projects for Pittsburgh, designed these in like the 1930s, 40s, 50s. And it's wild to look at some of them because like, I don't know, like an aquarium downtown.
I would love an aquarium downtown. I love aquariums. I think our zoo aquarium is just fine. The aquarium I went to growing up had a shark tunnel.
The Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium does have a tunnel. I don't think there's sharks in it, though. I think it's maybe it's sea lions or otters. Anyway, they're very cute. But these plans are ludicrous, kind of. And I feel like that's what I want, like a 10-story civic center. There's an opera house, a concert garden situation, like everything about it, like especially from the vantage point of the Point, is so different than what we ultimately got. I would argue we chose correctly, but I really want to see this.
No, I want aquarium now. Also, concert garden, that sounds very cool.
It does, but I think the fountain and the access that is provided from public park spaces, which is what we have now, is perhaps a win over what he proposed. But anyway, you can go see this for free. I want to, because a company out of the Midwest went to the trouble of like creating models of this stuff. So like full scale models and like illustrations and things like that. So you can like really visualize some of the stuff that was on paper before. This whole exhibit was in DC for a while. I read about it in the Washington Post and I was like, I wanted to go, but like I just didn't have an excuse to get down to the Capitol. I thought I missed it. But then the Cultural Trust is like, it's coming here. So
Very
I'm excited.
cool.
I also don't have to pay for it. This exhibit is free. And you can go see it now through May 2026.
Oh, awesome. Plenty of time.
Well, I'm really kind of thinking ahead to the end of the year because once November hits, it's basically holiday season. And this year, I kind of want to give people handmade gifts. And so I've had my eye on a bunch of different workshops where you can make cool items. Like I think it's kind of a double gift where you're gifting yourself an experience and then you're gifting a loved one something that you've made with love and care while picking up a new skill.
I love that.
My plug for November is go to some crafting gift making workshops, get those gifts done in advance. There are a ton of different options all throughout the city, but I was going to call out a few that I've got my eye on. So Proto Haven has a ton of different classes all month, but there's one on November 10th where you can make custom t-shirts using a vinyl cutter and a heat press machine. So I think that's really fun that you can make like a super personalized t-shirt for somebody in your life. And then also on November 17th, they have a printed mugs class. So if you want to take a design and instead put it on a mug for like a coffee or tea lover in your life, that sounds like a lot of fun. You can go to Contemporary Craft on November 13th and learn the basics of wood turning by making your own taper candle holders. You learn how to use a lathe.
I just clicked on this and they are not what I imagined at all. These are very cool.
Right. Like normally a candle holder would not be a thing I'd be that interested in making or giving to somebody, but these are true works of art. They kind of look like...
It looks like a bunch of beads, you know?
Yeah, like wooden beads stacked on each other, but it's like one single piece. And then another one that sounded cool to me is you can go to the Cary blast furnaces and forge your own coat rack. This is a 2-day workshop from November 15th to 16th. You're not making like a standing coat rack, but something you hang on the wall by your front door. And it looks very intricate. And then one more that sounded cool to me was Barefoot Forge has these beginner blacksmithing classes all month where you can make bottle openers out of railroad spikes.
Huh. Interesting. This is smart to get on this in November. I have absolutely been in the position where I'm doing like handmade gifts and I am finishing them on Christmas Eve into the early hours of, Christmas Day.
Yeah. And that's, I think also classes like this fill up really fast. So trying to snag something in November gives you plenty of time to make sure you've got that gift made and finished.
Oh, I've heard of this Barefoot Forge place before. I think this is the one I'm thinking of. They also do like make your own wedding rings, which is a thing that my partner and I did, which I thought was like super fun. This isn't the one we used, but we were in the market for that sort of thing when it was our time. So I think that's a really fun thing to do too. Like you get to seal your union like for real with like molten metal.
That is very badass.
That also seems like a great way, like if you can kind of survive being around that level of literal and figurative heat together, then your marriage can last.
Yes, the one we did at least, like one of us held the mold and the other one poured the metal and you're trusting each other not to screw that up. It's a real trial by fire, if you will. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Family House. For families traveling here for medical care, the cost of food is just another expense to worry about. But Family House's daily healthy breakfast program takes away some of that stress, while also providing a little connection. The program's available to all Family House guests, and it provides nourishing meals, a welcoming space, and the chance to meet others facing similar medical challenges. But the cost of this meal program is going up. Family House needs your help. Every donation helps keep breakfast and the support it provides available to those who need it most. You can give at familyhouse.org/donate and save the date for Family House's Day of Giving. It's December 2nd on Giving Tuesday. Family House really is a home away from home for patients and caregivers here in Pittsburgh, and it's the preferred lodging partner for a lot of our healthcare systems here. So again, if you want to support their cause, head over to familyhouse.org/donate.
Today's episode is sponsored by the Frick Museums and Gardens and their world premiere of The Scandinavian Home, Landscape and Lore. The exhibit is open right now, and it is the perfect way to embrace the start of winter while still feeling all warm and cozy. There's this sense of magic to it all, because princesses, Vikings, trolls, gnomes, and folktales all come to life in this exhibition. The Scandinavian Home's got this mix of homey comfort and mythic wonder. The show features more than 100 objects from a private, never-seen-before collection. So you'll get to admire fine decorative and folk arts, so think furniture, ceramics, glass, paintings, textiles, sculptures, graphics, and metalwork. So much stuff, all from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. And after debuting at the Frick, this exhibit is going to move on to other museums, so do not miss your chance to get that first look. The Scandinavian Home, Landscape and Lore is on view through January 11th, 2026. Get your tickets at thefrickpittsburgh.org. Coziness awaits you.
So we're going to move on to some food and drink recommendations here in the month of November. What are y'all looking forward to?
So I know wedding season is over, but if you are still craving an amazing cookie table display, there's an event coming up on November 6th that sounds great. So the Mid-Atlantic Mother's Milk Bank is doing a milk bank and cookies fundraiser at Stage AE. This is their third year. And if you're not familiar with this spot, it's essentially like a blood bank, but for breast milk. And so it's a place where people can donate like extra breast milk if they've made more than their baby needs. And then it gets donated to like premature or medically fragile babies who can really benefit from having access to that kind of milk. So it's a really great cause, and you can go taste a bunch of cookies from like expert local bakers to support that cause. So a bunch of local bakers, they're going to be competing in this cookie table throwdown with awards for best cookie table presentation, and people's choice. This will
good.
be...
I love a voting element to this kind of thing.
Yes. And also this is hosted by Rick Seaback, so you know it's legit. Like if he is on the docket, then it's going to be a great event. And I do just really want to make a plug for the Mid-Atlantic Mother's Milk Bank. Like I have friends who have benefited from this service. They are the main provider of donor milk for hospitals in Pennsylvania and West Virginia, and they service a bunch of other hospitals in the region as well. And they're in kind of a small space in the Strip District right now, so this fundraiser will help them move into a bigger space so that they can serve more families and more babies. They bought an old AHN building in Bellevue, but it needs, millions of dollars worth of renovations. So again, if you like cookies and you like supporting people at their most critical moment of need, this is a great event.
Oh, I did not know that this milk bank served people like across state lines. I actually have a friend who works there, but no idea that they were in like West Virginia and outside Pennsylvania generally.
Yeah, I'd throw in another +1 for them just because, I think you take for granted until you're in a position or someone you know is to have a baby that needs something like this. Like not everyone can produce it. Your insurance doesn't necessarily provide for it. It can be a really difficult thing to procure. And, like there have been like informal circles where, breastfeeding people have offered it up, but like that's kind of a difficult thing to navigate. So the Mid-Atlantic Mother's Milk Bank like really takes it to the next level, like professionalizes it, and is just like such an incredible resource for our region.
And processes it in a way where it's safe and can feel really secure feeding it to your baby.
Yep. Well, for November, I'm going to try to hit some seasonal favorites. I feel like this is like a moment for cozy food and for,
Absolutely.
Kind of rolling around in this nostalgic food that just makes you feel happy. Some ones on my list are, first of all, pierogi from the Rocks, Pierogies Plus. I don't know if you have been over there. They're great.
I haven't. I really want to go. I finally got to Polska Laska for the first time a couple weeks ago. So like now I'm hitting the rest of the go-to pierogi places.
It's definitely off the beaten path for central Pittsburghers, city center Pittsburghers, but still worth a drive if you can get over there. Also, you can buy in bulk and keep them in the freezer. I really love Indian food. I just tried a new fun spot downtown that feels sort of like the Chipotle model, but for Indian food, called Tandoori Tales. It was a ton of food for the price, so just FYI. There's also another one over there, Royal Mezban. I hope I'm saying that right. That's just around the corner. So that's on my to try list. And then I really want to do dumplings. Like some friends and I, every few years, we'll do like a dumpling crawl along Forbes Avenue and Squirrel Hill, just because there's so many amazing dumplings and restaurants over there. So you like really can't do it wrong.
Ooh, that sounds really good. Well, kind of similar to dumplings, I'm thinking about momos. There's a lot of spaces in the South Hills that do this. So there's Namaste Momo Corner, which I've been to before. And then kind of down the street, very close, is Everest Kitchen. So if you want to do a momo crawl, 2 spots, I guess, not quite as many. But if you're willing to drive a little further, you can definitely hit a lot more. And I was in Toronto a few weeks ago and they had butter chicken momos. So like butter chicken sauce on top of the momos. They don't have this here in Pittsburgh, but maybe I will hit up.
Why are you telling us about this? Something we can't access.
Because I think if you maybe I'll go to Tandoori Tales, get some like sauce there and just dump it on. Do it yourself.
Do a whole combo.
Poor Sophia had to listen to me like literally moaning about the sauce at Tandoori Tales a few days ago. I support this, Sophia. I think you should manifest the food you want to eat here in the city.
Yeah, you got to do it yourself sometimes, but that's okay.
We have a platform and we are trying to influence all the food people out there to make us the food we want.
I guess while we're talking about kind of like nice, warm, filling food, I want to shout out a place I have not been, but Francesca's highly recommended. It's a new Thai place in Bellevue called Umai. She specifically shouted out their pad see ew because they make it without fish sauce, which is great for vegetarian friends. I definitely have a little bit of a if there is fish sauce in something, I would rather not know so I can just enjoy it in sweet bliss. But
Flexitarian.
Yeah, if you are not as flexitarian as I am, this sounds like a really good spot. Francesca said it's actually the best that she's had. So it's very strong recommendation.
And I've got a tip for this one too. Whole Foods does like a vegan fish sauce. So just buy that and add it on top if you still want like a fish saucy taste.
Nice. Francesca also mentioned that she's got her eye on Allegro's croissant dough cinnamon roll right now. This turned into like a conversation in our like personal Slacks where we were just like talking about food we wanted to eat. And I haven't had the cinnamon roll, but I have had Allegro's croissant dough like cruffin, and it was superb. And I mean, I did not heat it up. It was just like flaky, cinnamony monkey bread type food, like right out of the cardboard bakery box. It was still cold because it was cold outside. Did not care. So good.
I love Allegro. I finally went there for the first time, but they were out of like their vegan bacon. So the people behind the counter were great. They were like, do not order this avocado sandwich without the bacon. It's not worth it. Here's what I recommend instead.
No, that sandwich, I've talked about that so many times. It is like a top 3, like end of my life food. Like that sandwich is so good. I will end with at least acknowledging a contentious food item in the fall here in Pittsburgh, the Gobblerito. Have y'all had one?
No, I want to, but I'm not like a huge Mad Mex person, so TBD.
You're not a Mad Mex person. Like this is a personality type.
As someone who has lived on the U.S.-Mexico border, I will say Mad Mex does not hit for me. And my flexitarianism does not extend to the Gobblerito, but so happy for everyone who is excited about this seasonal treat returning.
I love the idea of it, though, because I love Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yes. If you have not had it, it is basically a Thanksgiving meal wrapped up in a burrito shell and coated in gravy. It definitely has its haters. And I haven't had one in a few years, but like conceptually, I love it. I think it's great. No hate here.
I'll let you know what I think if I do get around to it this year. I do really want to do like a big Friendsgiving this year, though. So I'll definitely be cooking a lot myself for it, but I will probably get most of my produce locally. I really love Who Cooks For You. They're at the Bloomfield Farmers Market, I think the Squirrel Hill Farmers Market, and a few more around the city. I do think it's absolutely worth going to them if you can make it to the Bloomfield Farmers Market, though. It's on Saturdays because they're doing a program right now where you can buy food tokens and just kind of like leave them posted on a board and people can take them as needed. So this is kind of to help fill the gaps while SNAP isn't being distributed, food stamps this November. So I'm definitely going to pick up a lot of like squash, butternut squash next time up at the farmer's market. I have this idea for some kind of squash chili oil dish. I'll experiment through November and I'll get there by the end. But the one thing I hate baking is pie crust. I do not mess around with making my own pie crust. So the pie is always store-bought. And I've been loving Pie Bird in Lawrenceville. They started taking Thanksgiving takeout orders, and always good to put in your order early.
Yeah, we will actually have a whole roundup of Thanksgiving takeout options. As we're recording this, look for that in the next couple of weeks. We really enjoy using it as an opportunity to plan our own Thanksgiving tables. And, maybe we'll do a pod about that too.
And another plug for our website, we actually have an article up right now about where to find and donate food around the city. If you're planning your own Thanksgiving meal right now and want to also ensure that other people can have great meals on their plates, go check out that article to find how you can help.
We are with you today thanks to the Greater Pittsburgh Nonprofit Partnership, a program of the Forbes Funds. For 2 decades, GPNP has been helping local nonprofits lead with impact. And every year, they pause to recognize the incredible people behind all of that work. The GPNP Awards honor nonprofit leaders who drive innovation, equity, and lasting change across Western Pennsylvania. From youth empowerment and technology to advocacy and community action, these are the people making our region stronger every day. If you know someone like that, nominate them now for the 2025 GPNP Awards and join hundreds of changemakers celebrating their impact at this year's GPNP Summit. Head to gpnpsummit.org to learn more and submit your nomination, because when we celebrate good work, we inspire even more of it. Last up, we've got some fun events to mark your November calendar for. Sophia, where are you going to be in November?
I'm going to be at Bottle Rocket's recession party. Yay!
Are we in a recession? Is that official?
I don't know. According to Bottle Rocket, yes. So this is going to be
my go-to source for the state of our economy.
Yeah, economic stalwart, Bottle Rocket Social Hall.
I'm just there to party. It's going to be on Friday, November 7th. So the music is from 2009 and now. The artists on the flyer are Pitbull, Nicki Minaj, Justin Bieber, Kesha, Chappell Rowan, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX, if you want to kind of see how all of that is going to come together.
Are they making Recession like the throwback situation?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm just realizing what this is. Okay, so it's a throwback recession, meaning we're in one now, but also we were in one 16 years ago.
I'm reading the description now, and it says a night where you can leave your cares behind, enjoy a $1 hot dog and a $3 shot, special priced like it's 2009.
And $5 admission too. So I'm going for the prices and for the music, and just because it's kind of funny to say I'm going to a recession party.
This is upsetting.
But you're laughing, so you also are having a good time.
Yes, I'm laughing through the pain.
Well, if a nice outdoor stroll helps ease some of the pain, I've got a recommendation. So on Saturday, November 8th, there is a Pittsburgh Steps Spring Hill walking tour. So if you want to learn more about the Spring Hill neighborhood and the history of Pittsburgh City Steps, which we have talked about extensively on this show, this is a great way to do both of those things. Three Rivers Outdoor Company is putting this on, and it's hosted by Matthew Jacob, who we had on the podcast to talk about the history of City Steps. So you meet at Garden Cafe and then wander around Spring Hill for a couple of hours. Part of the reason I'm recommending this now is that when we talked to Matthew and his colleagues for our episode, they all recommended doing a City Steps tour in the fall or winter because there's, Pittsburgh is so beautiful when everything is green and lush, but it actually blocks views of the city steps a little bit, or views from the city steps. So once everything's sort of fallen and died, it can be a really good time to do these.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of mourning everything dying and falling to the ground, this can put a different spin on that.
Yeah, it makes the frost feel like good news, right?
I also think it's more fun to walk up and down them when it's not sweltering outside.
Or so cold it's icy.
Ooh, that's a good point. I would definitely fall.
Yeah, November is the perfect month.
And they also love Spring Hill. That's where we did our interview with them, too. It was one of the vistas over Spring Hill. So highly recommend. Also want to shout out an event November 13th. So the Heinz History Center is going to be hosting their monthly trivia. And we always host around. We are always there. We sit by the snack table. We try really hard not to give away the answers, but
this is hard for me because I love cheating.
Well, you love cheating, but also we would crush it if we were actually playing. We're very good at the trivia at Heinz.
We always have Pittsburgh-themed trivia. I'm not sure what theme we're going to go with this month, but if you've been listening to the podcast, you might have an advantage in our round. So tune in and then come on by.
And you do have to register in advance. Admission is just $7, though. So really good deal. And during the intermission, too, you get to check out the hidden history exhibit. So that's also fun if you haven't seen it before.
I am going to once again return us to a classic Pittsburgh experience, but I think another one that some people love and some people absolutely hate. So Saturday, November 22nd is Light Up Night. This trips me up every single year because I always think it's after Thanksgiving, and it never is. It's always the weekend before. So if you have not been here for this before, it's when the city of Pittsburgh does its big tree lighting ceremony. There's fireworks. There's Christmas villages. Although all of that is a little bit weirder this year because it's not where it usually is. All of that's under construction. But I think Light Up Night is a thing that everyone should experience at least once, at least a little bit. Maybe not the full night, but go stroll around. It's a cool thing to see.
Yeah, because usually the holiday market is in Market Square, but it is still under construction. I think it's about halfway done. So the holiday village, from what I've heard, is supposed to be little pockets around the cultural district. I've seen them start to get set up. I'm sure Visit Pittsburgh will have all of the exact locations up, once they're up and running.
Yeah, it seems like their full schedule for Light Up Night is still in progress. So check back if that's something that you're specifically excited to go downtown for. Personally, I really love the ice sculptures when they do them. They don't do them every year, but look around for that because they're literally doing them on site that day, which can be really fun. My pro tip, if you do not like crowds or staying out late or the dark, is to go to Light Up Night around 3:30 or 4 because they will still be setting everything up. So you'll get to kind of skip the crowds, but experience like the sights and sounds of it all. All the vendors will already be up and running. So you can like talk to the artists if you want to. You can have a little bit more of like kind of some one-on-one attention and then skip out of town before everything gets like truly well and going later. But I would plug Market Square for what it's worth. Even though the Holiday Village isn't there this year, the businesses there still really need help. They need your money. This construction project is taking ages, all to plan, but like it's really tough on a small business for people to not be walking by for months on end. So if you want a coffee, like stop by Nicholas. If you need an oyster sandwich, like go to the market. Like
they're warm. You might need one. It's cold.
There's so many good restaurants and small businesses through there. Like spare $1 for them if you can.
Get some miso soup from number 1 sushi.
I also think Nicholas Coffee is like the best smelling business in the city of Pittsburgh. If you like the smell of like roasting coffee, it just overwhelms you in the best possible way you walk in. So, go for the scent alone, but then spend money.
Yes, do both.
Well, I have sort of a double recommendation. So Phipps Conservatory, of course, always has like a really beautiful winter display that starts this year on November 14th. The theme this year is Wild Winter. I saw that it's going to include an undersea display with an octopus chandelier and an interactive clamshell.
Ooh,
I'm so on board. I can't wait to see this. So, if you go anytime after November 14th, you can get to experience just the lights, the special displays, all of that stuff. But then on Monday, November 24th and Tuesday, November 25th, they are hosting poinsettias and point shoes. So Pittsburgh Ballet Theater is going to have pre-professional ballerinas doing performances from the Nutcracker with that, special holiday display as their background. There's multiple performances. They are all at night. So if you want to experience the display but also see a dance performance, definitely go on those dates.
And I will wrap up with another dance performance, but very different direction. On Sunday, November 30th, you can get to a burlesque graduation show with King Fly Spirits.
Like people who have been studying burlesque are graduating?
Yes. So this burlesque school, it's called Viva Valez's Burlesque Badass School. They're doing their fall graduation show. So there's going to be dancing, costumes, jokes, and more. This is a 21 plus event. And they also recommend you bring ones and cash to tip. They'll have some ones and, dollar bills there, but limited supply. So go to an ATM first.
Amazing. Well, if you are excited about this, if you want to see more inspiration, again, check out our website. That's pittsburgh.citycast.fm. We'll have even more over there. And come hang out with us. We will be at the Heinz History Center for trivia on November 13th. That is all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. You can support us, as always, at membership.citycast.fm. All this is going to stay free, but anything you give helps us keep doing this work, helps us keep telling y'all what's good every month. We will be back tomorrow with more news from around the city. We'll talk to you soon.
The category is just food I like to eat sometimes.
Yeah, it's warm and cozy.